Bats have occupied an important place in the traditional lore of ancient cultures, which attributed supernatural powers as well as a mystic connection to the moon. But of all the bats, the vampire bat contributes the most to popular culture, becoming the lead character in books and film due to its ability to feed on mammalian blood. Of more than 1,200 bat species worldwide, only 3 Bats occupied an important place in the traditional lore of ancient culture, which attributed supernatural powers as well as a mystic connection to the moon. But of all the bats, the vampire bat contributes the most to popular culture, becoming the lead character in books and film due to its ability to feed on mammalian blood. Of more than 1,200 bat species worldwide, only 3 are in the Hematophagy family, meaning that they feed on blood. Of these, only Desmodus rotundus, the common vampire bat, feeds primarily on mammalian blood. Vampire bat roosts can be identified by the presence of dark red or brown, pasty or semi-liquid feces on the floor or walls. The feces contain partially digested blood, which possesses a strong, foul odor. Contrary to myths, the common vampire bat does not feel an attraction to the moon, but prefers to carry out its hunting under the veil of darkness. Unlike other bats, its flight rarely exceeds 35 inches above the ground. Their fur is usually dark brown, but orange, blonde, and albino vampire bats can also be found. The physical characteristic that distinguishes the common vampire from other bats is their big thumb. The common vampire bat also has V-shaped lips, small ears with a large tragus, a horseshoe-shaped nose, and no tail. In addition to flying, the vampire bat can move around on the ground quickly by running and jumping. This is an important hunting feature which allows the bats to approach livestock undetected. Using a thermal system to detect blood vessels, the vampire bat tears its prey's skin with its razor-shaped incisors, leaving behind a small, concave wound. They generally choose to bite their prey's neck, the base of an ear, hooves, feet, or the base of a tail. The vampire bat uses its tongue to lap blood from its prey. They carry out this movement up to 900 times in a 20-minute single feeding. When the bats are feeding, they introduce an anticoagulant into the wound in order to keep the blood flowing. The vampire bat may feed on farm animals, such as cows, horses, donkeys, goats, or pigs, as well as cats, dogs, or poultry. The early detection of bleeding wounds in these animals is an important indicator of vampire bat activity in an area. Some vampire bats are infected with the rabies virus. The virus is transferred to livestock or other animals through saliva during the feeding process. Common signs of rabies in livestock include a cough or a sound similar to clearing one's throat. Infected animals walk in a disoriented manner, and weakness in their hind legs becomes very noticeable. Animals may crash into objects and relentlessly bite anything near them. As death approaches, infected animals will throw themselves on the ground, with their backs adopting an arched position. Occasionally, while in this position, they will move their legs as if running. When they die, they maintain the rigid, arched position. As vampire bats expand their range northward, it is important to understand the recommended measure for detecting their presence. Familiarize yourself with the common habits of livestock and domestic animals in order to properly identify changes and to report them to the proper animal health officials. Periodically inspect animals and be on the lookout for the presence of vampire bat bites. If the animals have dark fur, it is recommended to carefully conduct the inspection with a flashlight. Vampire bats rarely attack people directly, but when it happens, the wound is incredibly small. The most important indicator of a vampire bat bite is constant bleeding. Never try to capture a vampire bat without the help of a professional. In cases of aggressive behavior by any species of bat, notify the appropriate public health officials. If you are bitten by any bat, you must receive proper medical attention. The vampire bat is a fascinating animal, but it can pose a rabies threat for livestock and humans. Its movement and adaptation to the southern U.S. presents a unique opportunity to study these animals, but it also presents animal and public health difficulties. Because they are highly adaptable, modification of their habitat is not recommended. It is important to care for and respect the life of all bats by correctly identifying the different species as well as avoiding contact with them. Remember that not all bats are vampire bats. As with all wildlife, bats should be observed and enjoyed from a distance.